Hello everybody, welcome back to Sundayberries. Today I am excited because we get to do another tutorial about the book Creative Abstract Watercolor by Kate Rebecca Leach. This book, as I've mentioned before, is absolutely amazing. I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you are wanting to have it for yourself. I think this is a great addition to your watercolor books or library. Today, we are going to be doing this exercise, which are basic abstract shapes. It's called Experimental Sampler. What I like about this is that this allows you to start developing your own personal watercolor mark vocabulary. And so far, all these exercises are geared to that, even though as we go further down the book, exercises become a little bit more complex, like the houses that we did the last time. In simple words, it's going to enrich your vocabulary of marks and designs, and you can experiment a lot with exercises like this. This is a very, very straightforward exercise, and it does make for a really nice painting in the end. So it consists of dividing your page in a grid, and in each of the spaces of the grid, you're going to place a mark or a design or play with some sort of a technique that you want to explore. Perhaps it's a technique that has to do with harmonious colors or analogous colors or complementary colors, depending on what you want to go for. But this is a way to experiment with that. And I find it a really fun way to do it. Another thing is that this doesn't require you to think too much and prepare for too long in order to get it done. It's very simple, especially if you are not feeling all that creative. Sitting down and doing this will probably spark your imagination and your inspiration as well. So I think this exercise, being the first in the book, is possibly one of the most important, because if we go back here to the beginning, or almost the beginning, where she's showing you the techniques, you can see her lexicon of marks, and she teaches them all. And you can practice all of these. See? Different ways of marking inside a square box or a rectangle, whatever shape you want to make. You can explore your brushes, you can explore your marks, you can explore your imagination. What can I do? What colors should I use? And this exercise in particular will fuel the desire to be a little bit more original. I always say that we need to develop our own vocabulary in these terms. So we're going to go for it and do something completely different based on this. I don't know what's going to be. I haven't actually done it, but this is simple enough. And the reason why I decided to do this one, it's not only because I find it really useful. I wanted to do something that will enhance your practice. For example, get your own very personal marks going on. And this exercise is perfect for that. Finding your own moves, finding your marks, finding your very own unique style. So what we're going to do is do this very simple grid, and we are going to find our moves. With that said, let me give you a little bit of information. If you were wanting to do this exact color scheme, the colors that she's used are Winsor & Newton, Burnt Umber, Cadmium-Free Red, Cadmium-Free Yellow, and Winsor Orange. So this is a very harmonious palette. However, you can go for whatever you feel like. So with that said, let's go ahead and start. All right, let's talk about the materials that we're going to be using. You will be needing your watercolor paper. I will be using arches, and this is a 9 by 12, which I will divide into two so I can do two examples at the same time. You can also use your sketchbook. The sketchbook is a great place to do these exercises. You will be needing Q-tips. You will be needing watercolors. I will be using the aqua green and the potter's pink for one of the exercises by Winsor & Newton, but you can use any watercolors that you have. And the other example that I will be doing will be with the Revival Collection, Mineral Gray, Oswald Gray, and Ultramarine Ash. You will need paper towel. You will need your fine liners, colored pencils, whatever you want to use to create marks. You will need table salt. This is going to be exciting, or Mediterranean sea salt, which are the bigger pebbles. So I will be using these two. You will be needing at the very least 3 watercolor round brushes. I will be using a size number 8 for larger areas. I will be using a 6 for medium areas, size 3 for details. You will also be needing tape to tape off your paper or sketchbook so you can leave a really nice border on the sides. Okay, so now that we have that said, I'm going to prepare the paper and we're going to get started. Okay, the grid does not have to be perfect. I certainly do not have it perfect, so we'll work with that. There should be 3 to one side and 4 going down. You can do it freehand or you can use a ruler for just marking your grid. Or if you prefer not to do the grid, that's fine as well. Key elements before we start: be spontaneous. Don't overthink it too much. I am going to start pre-wetting my colors, which are going to be the potter's pink and the aqua green. And if you hear my cat snoring, you know that is part of the ambience. As I mentioned before, you can use this experiment to actually practice some of your skills. This one here, I will do wet on wet right here. And just seeing what's going to happen. I am not going to be too concerned about anything whatsoever. And I don't want you to be concerned about anything at all except placing your colors on the paper. So these two colors are granulating colors. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen with that one. Okay, so I'm leaving that one as is because I think that we're getting some interesting things going on right there. And we're going to continue creating marks as we go. Again, don't even think about it too much. Just be expressive in what you're doing. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to stay within the perimeter of your space, your grid. That's it. This is also quite a time to meditate and do whatever you feel like. Very intuitive work here. So I'm not following the book in terms of what I'm doing here. Although, of course, I am influenced what I've seen already, but I'm wanting to do this as original as possible in terms of the marks that I want to do. And I do encourage you to do the same. And what I'm doing here is just adding additional paint into what is wet already. And perhaps I'll do that, but from the top down instead from the bottom up, as I did over here. And why not come back here and do some marks? Now I'm going to be mixing these two together as well. So I just want to see what happens. And some colors that are here might get involved. So yeah. And on this one, why don't we do some salt? We can do some salt here. And here, who knows? Okay, let's do some crazy marks because really this is not about anything in particular. And why not? I am going to add a couple of I don't know if they will do anything at this point, but maybe they will. So the idea is just to have some fun, really. And okay. Now with the cotton ball, you're going to add some water to it. And we're going to come here and just make some marks. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do that there because we have those circles next to it. So we're just going to do something else. So we're not really thinking about anything in particular. We're just doing. All right, so we're going to allow it to dry and we're going to believe in the process because even though it looks like a mess, it's going to turn out really beautiful. So let's hope for the best. I've been watching this dry. We're letting it dry naturally, but I want to fix something here. And do I change this? Let's do it. When you have this almost ready like that, you can always, because it's not dry, you can always come in and fix things that you see or think that needs fixing. So that's what we're doing right now. See this line here. It's a very harsh line, so I want to dissipate it a little if possible. And those are the only fixes that I'm going to do for now. Okay, so I've come in to check on this. I think that area right there is still wet. So I am afraid to do anything right now, but I want to do something with the Q-tip here. I'm gonna just wet it with water and get some of this same color and just make some marks. And I like that. Maybe here too. Or that didn't come out as I was wanting, but that's okay. And then turning it around, I'm going to come over here, wet the tip, and let's see if we can do something here. And I am going to do some spotting here as well. And in different areas, really. Just do marks where you feel like you want to see them. All right, so I'm going to get my thinner brush, and what we're going to do is just start doing little things that can enhance the overall look of this sampler with watercolor before we move into the markers and all the other options that we have. And again, the way you make your marks is your very own way to do them. They don't need to be like mine. You don't have to follow this. Whatever you feel, you follow that feeling. Okay, so the part with the watercolors we have finished. Now we're going to allow the second part to dry, and then we're going to come back and decorate with our fine liners. All right, my friends, something really nice happened here. And I really don't remember if I did it or I don't know. I don't remember. I have to check. All right, so these are pretty much dry. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm hoping this is going to be successful. We'll see. These are the bigger salts, and as you can see, they do leave a rather interesting mark. And I think I had the salt here, and I did put a lot of it, so I'm going to try to ooh, there's a lot. Okay. There we go. So right now we are just removing these salts, and we're going to be careful because some of them might be still wet. As you can see, I mean, it's cold. I don't expect miracles. I was expecting a different type of mark, something like this, but on this one, it didn't happen. So, but these experiments are really, really good precisely because you get to experiment what happens. See, this one was better. I don't know if it had to do with the timing in which I dropped in the salt. And this one was good too. That one was good too. I don't remember where I placed the salt, honestly. So some of them worked. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so some of them worked, some didn't on this one. I can feel salt, table salt. So, and on this one, we got really good effect. Well, on some. But again, what I was saying was that you get the opportunity to experiment with things that you haven't tried. And I really haven't used a lot of salt in my work so far. So, and I don't remember having used table salt. So this would be the first time. So I've removed all the salt, and we've gotten really nice and interesting marks. So I find it really interesting what we have right now. So what we're going to do is fix some certain things that happened here. For example, what I'm going to do is make something here. Because we need to cover that. All right, so while that is drying, we're going to work on this one. Well, you can hardly see it, but it's there. So what we're doing is just decorating. You can do any sort of mark that you want to do. This is your time to play. Nothing has to be perfect, so don't really worry over it. Just have fun. These remind me of biology class for some reason. They look like cells. Okay, so that one is done. Love this one so much. Now we're going to work on this one. So let's go for it. So basically, we're going to continue doing just whatever comes to mind. All right, so I think we have it. Let's just take off the tape. All right, I think I'm done. What I'm going to do is cut this and show you the finished pieces. And after everything is super well dry, then we can go back and erase the pencil marks if they are still visible. Okay, if I keep finding spaces to do, it's like we'll never end. I'm going to leave that one alone. All right, so we're done. I think it didn't come out half as bad. It could have been better, I will admit that. But still, the exercise is here, and we get to explore different techniques that allows us to continue to grow our skills with watercolors. I'm pretty happy with the result, and I've learned the different things that I need to get better on. If I'm going to do this size, I would probably reduce the amount of squares in the grid so I could have a bigger space, so there's more separation in between them. I will definitely be repeating this exercise and see where that takes me. I hope that you do too, because that's the only way we are going to learn and have fun with it. Just relax, do what you feel like doing, trust your instinct. And even if it doesn't come out right on the first go, you know that with practice, you're going to continue to get better and better and better. And exercises like this, you're going to be doing like a breeze. The most important part is that we're working on our skills and we are practicing different techniques. For example, wet on wet, doing two colors and allowing them to merge together. We did the salt, we did the sea salt. We also did here, again, two different colors. We used the little Q-tips to just make marks. You get to practice your skills. And as we practice, we get better. That's why I always say that these are great exercises for sketchbooks before going to paper. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will continue doing others to see where those take me, especially trying to do a more open grid. This one seems to have more space to breathe. This one seems tighter. I didn't allow enough space in between the areas. So just allow some really good space in between each row so the picture can actually breathe. This one, I feel it's very tight. This one is a little better. It could have been even better because if the more space you allow in between the rows, the better it's going to look. So that would be my fault here, but I had fun and that's what matters. So I hope you do practice this. I hope you do take the tip about leaving enough space in between rows to actually allow the picture to, or the painting to breathe. All in all, I'm happy. I hope you are too. I hope you had fun. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do so. It's completely free and you will help me with the algorithm. And with that said, I don't want to finish this video without wishing everybody a very Merry, Happy Christmas. I really, really hope you spend it with your loved ones, with your family, and that every wish that you have comes true. With my best wishes to all and all my love to you. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another. And I will see you on the next video. Until then, bye.